Hey guys. Okay, we are going to talk about an artist whose name is Carmen Lomas Garza. She is a Latina artist from Los Angeles, California. And I'm going to show you a couple videos. This is what we're going to do in class, or what will have done in class by the time you probably watch this, if you didn't get to see it in class. We're going to watch a couple videos about her, and then you are going to create art that tells a story. It's art that is about your life. Um, Carmen Lomas Garza used her life to create her artwork. It was her her way of telling her story. So I want you to think about what kind of story you're going to tell with your artwork. Let's get this. There's my screen.
I try to depict images of my childhood, of my memory, because I wanted to have my artwork speak to the Mexican American community. And I wanted the artwork to be images that they were very familiar with, so they could see themselves in the artwork and feel proud of all the things that we have that are part of the American culture, that we have contributed to the American culture. This painting is Cumpleaños de Lala y Turi. I'm Lala, and my younger brother's named Arturo, and we call him Turi. Everybody's gathered around in a circle waiting for their turn to hit the piñata. So this is me, and I'm hitting the fish piñata, which is my younger brother's piñata, because my mother made our piñatas for us, and she asked us what we wanted. And I wanted a rose, and he wanted a fish because he likes to go fishing. The magical thing that happens is that when people are looking at it, especially Latino families, they can immediately recognize what's going on, and they'll start telling me their stories. And they'll say, this is my story, this is my family. And it's been really gratifying to hear that, to get that kind of feedback. So a lot of the compositions of my artwork and my paintings are in my head. I will spend a lot of time just thinking and visualizing. I feel like I have this little canvas inside of my forehead, and that's where it's all being composed, all the images. This is my parents' house, the front porch. And it's a recollection of one day when I was a kid. My mother was walking around with this bucket of water. And I kept asking her, what are you going to do with that water? And she took a sheet of newspaper, rolled it up into a cone shape, and put it on my father's outer ear, and then very briefly ignited it with a match. Sometimes when he would go swimming, water would get trapped in his outer ear, and this was a treatment for that. And then she threw the burning paper into the bucket of water. That's what the bucket of water was for. It was for safety reasons. So you see there, the dancers, it started out with a full figure, and then now it's a half figure as you're scanning the cutout from left to right. And the figures keep getting bigger and bigger. And then finally, on the extreme right, it's just the ruffles of the skirt. So it's like you're standing on the side of a stage looking at all these ballet folklorico dancers. Even though the paper cutouts may look different than the paintings, it's still within that whole goal of depicting images that my community can relate to. I didn't really anticipate that my artwork would be in a bilingual children's book. The editor, publisher of Children's Book Press, she invited me to illustrate somebody else's story. I told her, well, why don't we just do a book with my artwork, with my stories about each painting, because that's exactly what I do when I show my artwork. I tell stories about what's happening in the painting. It came out in 1990. The first one is called Family Pictures, Cuadros de mi Familia. The book is helping kids to talk about the artwork, articulate what they are seeing, And it's just a short step from talking about it to writing about it. And so the literacy happens with the use of the artwork. The greatest honor has to be the approval by the Los Angeles Unified School District Board of naming one of their new primary schools, the Carmen Lomas Garza Primary Center. It's a great feeling having the artwork and the books and come all the way around to be used in a public school for the purpose of helping the kids become literate, learn how to read and write, tell stories. It's a great honor, and my family was very honored to have our family name on the school.
Okay, so that's pretty cool, right? Have a school named after you. Now, let's look at some of her artwork. And we're going to just go through some of her paintings, look at some of the images, see what you think. This might have been where she had the piñatas. Look at this one. Think about what's happening here. There's a little description down at the bottom. It's a good one. Here's the one that she was talking about where her dad had water in his ear. I like that one. This doesn't, if we go back and look at that one, doesn't look like they are in Virginia, right? They're probably in Southern California or New Mexico, Texas, something like that. Here they are making empanadas, yum. Okay, these are just some of the images. You can flip through, look at some of her, here's an artist statement. We need to think about an artist statement. At the age of 13, I decided to become a visual artist and pursue every opportunity to advance my knowledge of art in institutions of higher education, like college. So the Chicano movement of the late 1960s inspired the dedication of my creativity to the depiction of special and everyday events in the lives of Mexican Americans based on my memories and experience in South Texas. So she grew up in Texas. I saw the need to create images that would elicit recognition and appreciation among Mexican Americans. So they would recognize, people are going to recognize and appreciate and look at her works in that way for adults and children, while at the same time serve as a source of education for others not familiar with our culture. So that's what I'm trying to teach everybody about different cultures. It's been my objective since 1969 to make paintings, prints, installations for the Day of the Dead, paper and metal cutouts that instill pride in our history and culture in American society. So I think that's really great. And then you can look at some of her different artworks over here. Fine art prints. There are paper cutouts. I think these are pretty. Come on. Papel picado. Oh, here we go. Gonna work. Okay. So your job is to create an artwork, a piece of art that tells a story. And you're going to write your paragraph. You're going to upload it to Flipgrid. Hopefully it will be easier this time to get them uploaded to Flipgrid now that you've experienced it and know how to do it. But thanks for coming.